What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video I'm going to give you evidence of why the bull market is not only alive and well, but why I believe that the best part, the finale phase, the true bull run, where we go through this explosive, euphoric finale phase in the crypto markets, why I believe we're right on the precipice of seeing this. If that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe, and pay attention. Let's get into it, okay? So first and foremost, I've been investing in crypto since 2015. I have made a lot of mistakes investing in crypto. My biggest mistake is trying to play the game. The best thing that you could do is probably just buy and hold, as long as you're holding a crypto that's good for the long term. Buy and hold crypto. Try not to trade it. Okay. My experience in crypto since 2015 does not make me a prophet. I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. But again, based on my experience, I'm gonna show you guys some things that I see in the charts and that we can compare to last cycle, and also show that we are literally right about to break out. So let's get into it, okay? I'm getting tongue tied over here. So first and foremost, before we really get started, I actually mentioned this exact thing yesterday whenever I went live with Rob and Crypto Archie, with Crypto Future and Crypto Archie. Shout out to you boys. But talking about how this is the weakest drop that we've seen this whole cycle, right? 22% drop here. Does anybody remember what happened in February 2023 to March 2023? I don't remember. Anybody remember what happened here in July 2023 to August 2023? I don't remember. Those drops were bigger than the drop that we have now, right? This was the ETF announcement drop. We had these massive drops overall from a high to a low. This is the tightest, smallest consolidation phase. I shouldn't say smallest because by size, by time, it's actually about as long as any of these other ones, but it's very tightly wound and people are dramatic. Comparing it to the COVID crash, which it's not even close. It's not even close. So again, the thought here, just getting into it immediately, is that right now the market is irrational. And I think a lot of people are irrational to the downside. I've seen more bearish posting and more, let's say, capitulation on this drop than I've seen on any of these other drops in the whole market. And it's the highest, this is the highest low that we have with the least significant drop that we've had throughout the whole cycle. Does this mean we have more to go? Hey, that might be a good point in that favor. I'm personally in the camp of belief, sorry, that was a weird cough, in the camp of belief that this is the low, that we're not going to go lower, and that we are going to break out higher. A very nice, tight consolidation phase like this tends to promote a massive breakout one way or the other, hopefully to the upside. But I'm very much under the impression that we will go to the upside, because not only is this the weakest move, but if we look at the crypto fear and greed index, these are actually some of the lowest levels of fear that we've seen all cycle, most consistent levels of fear that we've seen all cycle, other than April. In April, that was back here. We had a nice move up afterwards, right? We have the, and that was after a 32% drop overall, right? 32% drop overall. We're about half that now, and we're at levels that are comparable, right? We didn't hit extreme fear, and this isn't the most accurate representation of fear and greed, but it's pretty damn good. The lowest levels of fear and greed that we've seen other than this throughout the whole cycle, and it's what is absolutely objectively the least significant drop that we've seen. The markets are rational. We've been moving sideways for the past few days, quite literally sideways. I mean, just look at it, just moving sideways here. And with that, we've had a lot of leverage positions take themselves off the table, right? We've seen the markets deleverage. We have a total of about $21 billion in leveraged positions, both long and short, which is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but that's a very low amount of total leverage positions in the market compared to what we've seen throughout really this whole range since dating back to July here. This is some of the lowest levels of leverage, which tells me that we are soon to break out. We're soon to break out. People are waiting to pick a side. That momentum is going to pick up. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw shorts all along the way to the upside, because again, I've seen more bearish posting over the past week than I have really throughout this whole cycle. And we're dealing with the most insignificant drop that we've seen. Carl from the Moon, if you guys know Carl from the Moon, shout out to Carl Runefelt. He made a post yesterday asking, is the bull market over? Is the top in or is the top not in? And for the first time on a major account from my own perspective that I've seen, it was like a 40-60 split. Normally it's 80-20 or 90-10 or less than that even, right? Like, it's the majority of people all believe that we have higher prices to go. But with this drop, with the most insignificant drop, again, it didn't even drop 20%. Every other drop we've had has dropped 20% or more. We've got more people afraid that this is the end of the bull market than ever before. I very much believe that we're not at the end of the cycle. I very much believe that we have higher to go. And again, just the overall dramatization of this event here is really what I think is going to drive it higher. People, again, and everybody says this. Everybody says this. It's markets top off when people are euphoric, right? They top off in euphoria. They bottom out at depression. And whenever we had our prior cycle high, a lot of people, myself included, we were very euphoric up here. We were very euphoric up here. We certainly weren't bored. We certainly weren't depressed up here. We certainly weren't net short over here. You know, that's not at all what it was. It was maximum euphoria, right? We were depressed. We were bored right here, right? And actually, I want to compare exactly this zone right here to where we are right now. I want to compare that, okay? Let's see, should we look at this? I think this actually is appropriate. Yeah, looking at the weekly ribbon here, typically in a bull market, you don't see the ribbon flip to the downside. That's actually a really bad sign, but we had the COVID crash. It was a false cross. Before we had this massive rally, do you see what the price is doing? Do you see the behavior that we had? We were hugging the ribbon right here. In a bullish postured hug, right? We're just hugging the ribbon. We had a little bit of a drop. Let's see, how much of a drop do we have? It was more than 18%. 21% there, a modest drop. But we were hugging the ribbon, hugging the ribbon for like 5 weeks here. And then we had a massive finale phase, right? Then we had our bull run really kick off. Well, here, you know, we've been hugging this ribbon for a little bit longer, but I would equate this exact same behavior, hugging the ribbon here at the top, just like we did here, right before this massive phase happened, right? And overall, the weekly ribbon here is a lot more healthy. It's a lot more positive looking than it was back in this area here, in my opinion. It looks, we haven't even seen expansion yet. We haven't even seen it happen yet, but it's coming. Beyond the ribbon itself, I mean, we can look at the monthly time frame. Let's just see. Monthly ribbon, you know, we're up here, but that's normal in a bull market. You should be above the ribbon. If we look at this, which is the Bitcoin price and the S&P 500 overlaid on this. So the S&P is the blue right here. The Bitcoin price is this. And again, comparing this exact same area, right, from before, comparing this zone here to where we are now in the price. But on this chart, you can see that during the COVID crash, we had a massive sell-off, right? Absolutely massive sell-off in the stock market and in the crypto markets. We had a V-shaped recovery. Bitcoin V'd with it, but it kind of just moved sideways and was being very boring, where the stock market continued to grow. Okay, as the stock market continued to grow, it got to this point where it was consolidating a little bit, and then boom, they both rallied together. Okay, here, same kind of thing. We have a V-shaped recovery in the stock market. Bitcoin moves up, V-shaped recovery, or maybe it's not a V-shaped recovery, but it moves up abruptly with the stock market. But then here, just like before, we kind of moved sideways and up while the stock market was really going on a continued rally, right? Here, whenever we were just moving sideways and up, and the stock market was continuing its rally. Here, we're moving sideways and up while the stock market continues its rally, right? And we are moving up because we have higher highs and higher lows. Absolutely, we do. So my thought there is just looking at this, I really would equate where we are here with what we were doing back here. I genuinely think any week now, we're going to see this massive breakout move that propels Bitcoin and the rest of the markets to higher prices, right? I would very much compare it to that. And then beyond all those things, again, the liquidation levels are low. We're ripe for a breakout. The shorts are dominant over the longs. And what is it here? Hold on. What was it? The fear and greed. There was something else I wanted to talk about on these lines. Was it this? Oh, yeah. The Fed injected about $30 billion into the banking system overnight. And there's probably going to be more injections to come. Liquidity is coming, you guys. It's literally happening right now. And that, you know, that might promote problems later down the road, but for the time being, there's liquidity in abundance right now. There's also this thing here on CoinDesk that I wanted to talk about. Where is it? Hold on. The next thing to watch for, yes. The next thing to watch for may be the Senate Agriculture Committee's draft market structure bill, as this could indicate where overall legislative package may go. They're creating a, I don't know why it says Agricultural Committee's draft. Is that anything to do with crypto? I don't know. I know that there's a committee that is forming a market structure bill for crypto. I thought that's what this was about. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Senate Agriculture. I don't know. But there is a market structure bill that Donald Trump and his constituents have said will come out by the end of this year, and probably in December, right? Government shutdown's happening. We're looking for the government shutdown to come to an end. Near's a record, right? If it's Wednesday, I think it will be at record limits of this government shutdown that we've ever seen, right? The longest one was 35 days. If it goes to Wednesday, that'll be 36 days. There's rumors that the shutdown will end on Tuesday. There's rumors that it could end tomorrow, Monday. There's rumors that it might end at the end of this next week, that will go a little bit longer. But we're at the limitations of what we've historically seen these shutdowns last for, right? And we know Donald Trump's a hard ass. Whether you like him or not, it's not a political thing. You know he's a hard ass. You know that he's not going to bend the knee until he feels like someone else is bending the knee with him or for him. You know what I mean? He's gonna get his way to some degree. So this, hold on, guys. My wife just turned on the hair dryer, and then my daughter followed her in there, so there's just a bunch of noise going on. I forget where I was. The shutdown's going to happen. The shutdown's going to come to an end, is what I'm trying to say. We're virtually, I don't care if it goes longer, I don't care if it's a day shorter, we're at the limitations for when this happens, and then there will be a lot of different regulatory things that are getting approved and moving through. We're progressing with that going into the end of the year. It's literally a perfect formula, I think, for what we all know to be true, a spectacular Q4 finish to this year of 2025, and going into 2026 I expect that we move higher as well. But that's really all I got. I don't have anything else that I want to say. I think there were some other things that I wanted to talk about, but that hair dryer is getting annoying, so I'm just going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Oh yeah, this is actually kind of important. This right here, you guys see that? SPF, yeah, they're looking to appeal his conviction. Yeah, you see it. And then Samurai, this is kind of sad. They'll be sentenced after pleading guilty to 1 count of each conspiracy to operate and unsigned. It's kind of dumb. It's not dumb. It's actually really dumb. These guys are good guys, I think. But whatever, man. It's just a process. I think I think this would be a bigger deal. If Trump could pardon these guys and not pardon Bankman-Fried, I think that would actually be a bigger deal. But I got nothing else, guys. I'm just rambling at this point. So hit the like button, subscribe. Again, keep your wits about you. The market is dramatic. We're seeing more depression now and more sadness now for the lack of a drop that we've seen more than anything throughout this whole cycle. I'm going to end the video there because things are getting loud. Take care. Bye.